Welcome to the Peninsula Humane Society SPCA. We're one of the largest animal welfare nonprofits in the country, and we're perhaps best known for the fact that we save thousands of animals' lives every year. Many of those are animals that really wouldn't be welcomed anyplace else other than our organization. And frankly, everything we do here, every life we save, that's work made possible through the generosity of donors and our volunteers.
When we say we strive for a positive experience for every adopter, I think a lot of what we mean by that is not just finding them the animal that they have in mind when they come to the shelter, but an animal that's a good fit for their lifestyle and for their home. And we here at the shelter have the benefit of having spent the time with these animals and know what their personalities are, so we can really help the people make a good match. The matchmaking process starts simply with conversation with people who've walked around the shelter. They've got a few animals in mind. We start by asking them what their lifestyle is, who's in their home as far as people and existing animals, and we tell them what we know about the animal, what their history is. In addition to the fact that we can provide homes for 100% of our healthy dogs and cats, another fact that we're extremely proud of is the number of animals we treat. Pods are where the dogs live here at the Lantos Center. They're much different from the old school conventional kind of chain link kennels. They're much more comfortable, they have furniture in them, and it's just a much less stressful way of living for an animal in a shelter.
When an animal comes here, before they're adopted out, we make sure that they're healthy, we make sure they have all of their vaccines, that they're spayed or neutered, and also that they have microchips so that if they get lost, we can return them to their owners. We provide a low-cost spay and neuter clinic for the public. They can bring in dogs, cats, or rabbits. We also have our mobile spay and neuter vehicles that go to low-income areas. A normal veterinarian's day here at PHS combines medicine and surgery, so a lot of times we're looking at sick animals and we're putting treatment plans together for them. And we also do surgery, so if we're in the spay-neuter department, then we do surgery for most of the day. Any animals that come in that are brought in by our animal control officers or somebody who's found a lost pet, we first stabilize the animal and make sure that we have their pain under control, and we want to find out as much information as we can.
The idea of the kitten nursery came about because these kittens we did not have an outlet for. They're too young to be placed into the shelter environment because they are so vulnerable with diseases. They don't have a fully functioning immune system. The kitten nursery is where our volunteers will act as mother to these orphan kittens. What the volunteers do is that they will feed them, they'll clean them, they'll socialize them, and once they are about 4 weeks old, they're old enough to graduate from the nursery, and they go on to their foster homes. These volunteers will continue to socialize them, keep them healthy until they're made available for adoption. The public does enjoy seeing the kitten nursery. It's a great learning tool for them to show their kids what needs to get done to actually care for an animal. The kitten nursery is fully functional only by our volunteers. Our volunteers are a really dedicated group that come in 3 times a day, every single day.
The Wildlife Department exists to take in injured, orphaned, and sick animals from San Mateo County, as well as other parts of the Bay Area. Our primary goal in the Wildlife Department is to rehabilitate the animals we receive and release them back into the wild. Some of the wildlife we've received include raccoons, opossums, squirrels, raptors, owls, hawks, songbirds, as well as seabirds like pelicans and gulls. The Wildlife Department can do a lot for the animals we receive, from providing fluid therapy, medication, raising injured or orphaned babies, x-raying animals and providing wound care and fracture stabilization, and giving them time in an aviary to heal. Since we've moved to this new location, we have several new enclosures outside. So we have songbird aviaries as well as squirrel aviaries, 2 seabird pools, and small mammal, large mammal enclosures, and 2 large raptor aviaries. Our wildlife nursery is where we care for sick, injured, and orphaned babies, mainly songbirds and squirrels, and we have a large public viewing window where the public can see us provide care and food for the animals. Volunteers in the Wildlife Department are essential to the running of our department. They do everything from cleaning and feeding the animals to helping staff examine and do treatments.
The Animal Behavior Department works primarily with dogs and cats here at the shelter. In the Behavior Department here at PHS, we do a lot of interaction with the public itself. We do just basic obedience classes. Our behavioral dog training classes are super affordable here at the Humane Society. We have a free behavior helpline for dog and cat behavior questions. In the Behavior Department, we deal with dogs and cats that have a variety of issues. One of the major things we can do for them is just giving them contact with people on a daily basis. So we have several hundred TLC volunteers that come in, they work with the dogs and the cats on a daily basis, and they give them contact with people. There is no possible way we could do all the work that we do with the animals without our volunteers. This romp and play park, it differs from areas in other shelters because it is soundproofed, so it doesn't disturb the neighborhood when the dogs are running and barking here like crazy. And we also have the great water feature, the fountain behind me, so those dogs that enjoy swimming or playing in the water, they can have that area to play around in. We also have a retractable roof. We're able to shut it when the weather's bad and still use this space to exercise the dogs.
Animal control handles pretty much any situation that an animal can get itself into. We handle large animal rescue for the entire county, horses that fall off of cliffs, cows that get stuck in a ditch. Pretty much any situation that an animal can get itself into, we have to know how to handle it. We have to know about all the different species, wild and domestic, and how to get them out of any kind of situation. Animal control now is much more compassionate. Our officers are out there because we love animals and we want to make sure that they aren't hurt. The Humane Investigations Department is here to ensure that animal cruelty cases are investigated properly. We have specialized training that police departments don't have. The Humane Investigations Department is funded entirely by private donations to the Humane Society. All of our calls come in from members of the community who see something that just doesn't look right. We need people to call and let us know what's going on, because without that, we won't be able to respond and check out these animals.
On a day-to-day basis, the Animal Care Department intakes animals, vaccinates them, makes sure that they get fed and that their living quarters are clean and sanitized. We try to make sure that the animals are safe and healthy and show them kindness and compassion. First thing we do is we calm them down, and if we do, we will bring them into our intake room and we will vaccinate them, and then we will put them in the proper kennel. Volunteers spend a lot of time with the animals, showing them TLC and also giving us a hand with cleaning at times. Our volunteers are very helpful, and we wouldn't be able to run this place without them.
I can't say enough good things about volunteering at the Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA. I really feel valued at Peninsula Humane Society as a volunteer. I think that they truly care about the volunteers, and there are so many of them, and I think that's a testament to the great work that Peninsula Humane Society does, is that they draw so many people who also care about the animals and want to help the animals in the community.
It's a great organization, and I hope as the years go on, I can continue volunteering in more and more departments here and working with more and more programs. There are, thousands of places that we can volunteer here in the Bay Area, but when I thought about what I love the most, it's animals, and I live near the Peninsula Humane Society, and so this just seemed like the perfect place.
One of the other things I like about volunteering at Peninsula Humane Society is the quality of the staff members. They absolutely care about the cause and the animals and the community.
People living in this community know that we've been here a long time, and they want to know that they're helping the animals in this community. We're private, we're independent, and we're not tied to any other groups and not tied to the government. We think it's rewarding for people to volunteer because in many cases they can do what our staff does. It's not just giving volunteers the menial tasks or the things that aren't important. Volunteers do things that are important every single day, and that's why we have so many who have been with us longer than many of our staff. We have volunteers who have been with us 20 years because they really get something out of it. Now that we have our new facility, we have the organization that people in this community have known for 60 years, and we have our brand new facility that's getting so many great rave reviews. It's made a world of difference for the staff. It's been incredible for the animals, but what I see as the biggest difference is how the community reacts to it. We're hearing things like warm, creative, fun. That's what an animal organization should be. Our education department has several offerings for kids of different age levels. We have a classroom presentation program, we have a summer animal camp, and we also have a vet shadow program and an officer shadow program. Our Humane House is an interactive learning center for children and kids at heart. We like to have different structures and elements inside of our new Center for Compassion that provide hands-on learning and little surprises around each corner, and this Humane House is exactly that. The most rewarding part of my job is that I work for a place that changes lives daily.
You see happy stories, you do the best that you can, you educate the public. That's what I really love to do, and that's why I still work here.
I get to help animals, and in the best case scenario, I get to find them an amazing, new, loving home.
It's a lot of hard work, but it's really a great community of staff and volunteers, and we all feel great about what we do.
There's nothing more gratifying than seeing that animal go into a loving home and walk out our doors and know that they're going to a great place.
We're committed to placing quality pets with quality people.
I hope you've come away from this few minutes knowing we are a special place filled with special people, and we'd like you to be one of them. Help us help the animals by becoming part of us. You can adopt from us, you can volunteer with us, you can write a check to help us help the animals. Any and all of it, you'd certainly be helping us save some lives.